This one's Elenium Moorheim Beauty. And I think, actually, it's flowering a little earlier than it did last year. And Moorheim Beauty is one of the best Eleniums in my opinion. And the colour is just amazing. Now, there's more than one plant here. I planted about 3 or 4 actually. So it's looking a bigger clump than it would have been. But that's what I try and do. I try and buy more plants than just one, so we can get the clumps establishing quicker. So that's looking great. It's a gravel area at the back. And that is Rhododendron macrophylla. And it's looking really good. And it's suddenly shooting up now. Because as I said, some of the plants I've got tend to grow really quick once we've got past midsummer. And it's the shortening days or shortening length of days that actually push them on a bit, especially miscanthus. So that's real nice, and those leaves are so thick or so wide. It's a true beauty. Now, just to the left of that one's Ostraderia richardii, and often called Cortaderia richardii, but it's Ostraderia richardii. That's a beauty. And that's been in 2 years, and is now showing me all those seed heads like that. That's great. So they're still going up. They haven't finished yet. I think there's still another foot for them to travel up, but they're looking great at the moment. Just separate those two. So that looks fantastic, and the seed heads are just amazing on this one. Now, if you're going to get this one, you really do need to give it some space, because it does make a wide clump. I'd say that's 4 foot, but definitely worth getting if you've got the space for it. The rest of the garden is looking really good at the moment. Really, really nice. Now this one's Miscanthus sinensis samurai. And it's got this lovely suffused, what would you call that, coppery purple look at the moment. And I really like this one. It's really impressing me, this one, because it practically starts off with that colour and it carries it on. So it's looking really good. And none of the Miscanthus as of yet are shoving up flowers, but they will. It's just a matter of time. The purple flower there that you can just make out there, I thought it was, well, it is a Veronicastrum virginicum, and I thought it was fascination, but we think it's adoration. Still not 100% sure. Now, when we had all that wind this week, or last week, this was one of the victims. I've had to tie it up now. This is Achillea credo, and it's wrecked it, really. It's really annoying, but it's wrecked it. So it has to remain tied up now for the rest of the season, which is a shame, really, because it was standing really well. That allium's got a great look at this time of year. I love that. Really unusual. So when you think your alliums are done, they're not always done. They can give you that second show of seed heads. Some look good and some look rubbish. But this particular one looks really, really good. And that's Atropurpureum. Just walk up here because I've just noticed this Clasia bulgarica is coming out in flower. And it has this lovely, lovely white flower. It's not out yet. You can see that you can just make out it's going to be white. And it's a thistle-like plant that's quite robust, quite sturdy. Doesn't need support at all. It's really nice. I like that one. I was told it doesn't self-seed, but I think they've got that wrong. It does self-seed. The bamboo's looking great. That bamboo there, it's Thamnocalmus Q Beauty, and it's truly a stunner this year. We're going to have a thin out, and I'll try and do a little video on that when I do it. How to thin this out to give it a more interesting look. But it looks good. This looks good now, though. It looks great, actually, to me. And that's an Acer palmatum dissectum. I believe it to be Garnetii, Garnetii, yeah, Garnetii, or Garnet, rather. But not sure. Again, I bought it without a label. So I'm sat in Kathy's arbour seat at the minute. It's really secluded and really nice in here. And this is one of the reasons that I planted the bamboo just there, because originally this would have been a swing, but it's that now. And I wanted you to have a kind of a closed-in feel here, and it's nice. I like it. So there it is. So it's been a good success. That I still haven't actually 100% finished it because it needs a roof putting on. It's got a roof, but it needs a tin to protect it. It's simply wood at the moment, but it'll be okay for now. Now this is a lovely grass, and it has this lovely flowing seed heads, as you can see there, and it's Anamanthi lesoniana, formerly known as Stipa arundinacea. It's now changed completely. And if you're looking for somewhere hard to place a grass, if you've got like a dry area or a bit of a shady area, that's definitely going to do well for you. It's a good all-rounder, really. Look at that look. It has a beautiful look, and it will self-seed around, and I would urge you to leave it and let some seeds develop. I do, because I want to find new ones, because in a sort of a severe winter or a cold snap through the winter, these can tend to curl the toes up and disappear. So if you've got seeds that are still there, or seedlings, the seedlings tend to pull through, or some of them will, because of the amount that it produces. So this is still a relatively new border, as you know. It's part of the owl border, the back of the owl border. But it's looking good. I'm quite happy with it at the minute. It's got a bit of maturing to do, as has everything in this garden. But it's looking okay. That's looking great now. I think that's almost 12 foot at the moment. And it looks great. This is Veronicastrum MacDougalii, I do believe. Yeah, and it's called Lavender Spires. I had one called Pink Spires at a previous address that did the same sort of action. So that's what it looks like. A real beauty, really. And it produces lots of them. They're good for pollinators, as you can see. Again, good for pollinators. This is Acanthus ruladen. That's a real nice one. That flower should go up as high as this post here, which is about almost 6 foot. It should easily reach that. Not sure if it'll do that this year, because it was only put in last year, but it's doing well. It's got 2 flowers, and it is a white form. So the more unusual white form. Eupatorium purpureum skinny mini again, looking good. Tall and just where it should be. So that's just a quick walk through part of the garden, show you where I'm at. And it's all looking pretty good. I'll talk to you in the next one. Ta-da!